Oh, hi. How are you guys doing? Well, guess it's time to get started. Welcome. This is the first episode of Fursuit Nation. I'm your host, Firefly, and in this episode, we're going to learn just a little bit about me, where I come from, what I'm bringing to the fandom, what the series is going to be about, and answer a few of your questions that you might have. So let's get started. A little bit about me. I'm old enough to smoke and drink, though I don't. Not old enough to retire yet. That's all you're going to get with my age. Sorry about that, but there's a reason why I look so good. And I live in Northern California, so got plenty of cons that I can attend when my schedule allows, of course, but so far I've only been to one. I went to Further Confusion 2014. I had a blast. I suited as that guy over there in the corner. My first suit, Alpine, and honestly, I don't think it could have been better. It was just amazing, meeting so many new people, making friends. So Firefly, this is the second suit that I'm working on. It's just a partial right now. I've just about finished digigrade padding, though I need to order fur, which is kind of on hold right now. I've got, vehicle troubles, to say the least. So, working on that. And once those are sorted, hopefully I can order the fur and finish the suit. But I'm sure as you guys have seen, I've already done a few dance videos. So, and the thing about dance, I had a friend once mention that you can only dance when you learn to not be ashamed. And really what that showed me is that if you don't care what other people think, you can have a blast and people just pick up on that energy. They don't even have to see your face. Just the energy that you put into it, they like that, they enjoy that. And that's why I do it. I have a ball doing that. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm a full-time student. I go to the junior college. I'm going to finish up this semester, get my AA. My background is administration of justice, with also an emphasis on math and science. So, yeah. Don't do drugs. I'm also hopefully going to get my EMT license here in the next couple months, so don't pass out in suit, otherwise you'll get cut out, alright? It's not going to be fun, and I might be the one doing it. As far as work goes, for the past 9 years I've done pet sitting and a little bit of dog training on the side. Been a dog owner myself for going on 13 years roughly. And my dog right now, she's a 2.5-year-old cattle dog mix. And she is definitely the joy of my life. We work together. I do search and rescue for the county here, and she's in training. It's just amazing what these dogs are capable of doing, and the fact that she's actually able to keep up and do the same type of work that they do is amazing. Let's see. Hobbies. Making stuff. I've made my own suits. I do a lot of my own art. The art up in the corner there that you can probably see in the background, that's not mine, that's my sister's. She's been taking a few art classes. And unfortunately she stopped. She was starting to get real good. Now she's playing more with her iPad, doing more digital stuff with her finger, which it works. I prefer my tablet for digital art because I at least have a keyboard. But I do quite a bit of sketching. You can check out my stuff on Fur Affinity or deviant art. I'll post the links below for you guys. What else? It's gonna take a while to get used to this. The camera's over there, computer's over here, and I can't really see out of this side without glasses. My participation in the fandom. Like I mentioned, I do my own art, make my own suits. I'm doing this series for you guys, mainly. There was a series on YouTube a while back that unfortunately is no longer there, and it really helped me come out and explore the entire furry fandom. It was remarkable. It was very well done. I really enjoyed it, and it's really what got me going and kept me going in the fandom despite all the flack I received from other people. And this is just my way of coming out and saying, being able to give back to the community, first-time fursuiters. It's an awesome experience. I'd like to encourage you. Don't push the limit. Do what's enjoyable, and then stop. Take it off. Wait a while, and go again. And that's really what this series is for. It's to really help those that are just jumping in. I'm sure those of you that are experienced watching this have been to many cons, fursuited for hours on end. You probably won't need most of this, but there might be some little bits and pieces that you might be able to pick out that might be helpful. And I'm sure if you've heard it 1,000 times, it might be that 1,001st time that it actually sinks in and you get it. So, hope you can stay a while, sit down, relax, grab a Coke, maybe some popcorn, yeah. Because you're not wearing a suit right now. I am, so you guys can enjoy your refreshments. I'll sit here and talk. And so back on the topic of participation in the fandom, and a little bit, I really like the dancing aspect, all the dancing furs, and there's a few really good ones out there that I like to follow, but a lot of it is not so much for, let's see how to say this the right way, not for the music choice, but for the ability of the dancers to just radiate joy and energy and fun. And there's a lot of dancers out there that I see that it looks like they're just running through the motions, they're doing it to a skit, they don't really enjoy it, they're just doing it to be competitive, to try to be good. And then there's the other side of the crowd where you've got the people that they do it, they might not have taken any dance classes, they just do it because it feels good, and they enjoy doing that, they like bringing smiles to people's faces, and that's the kind of crowd that I like, and I'm more of a part of. Is the reason I fursuit. I just want to make people smile, and it's amazing if you can do that. Just the magic of seeing a little 8-year-old kid just light up when they see you walk around the corner, it's just amazing. And I hope that someday you guys can all experience that if you haven't already. Dang it. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Does this work? No. That works. Somebody, you need to make claws that can work on a touchscreen. Somebody get on that right now, okay? I'll buy them. Let's see. What the series is for, I mentioned that. I'll reiterate once again, it's mainly for first-time fursuiters who are just getting into the fandom and that they want to know what it's all about, what to expect, some safety tips, experiences, hopefully from other suitors as well, if I can get people to maybe take some time, email me some stories. You don't have to send me your names, just your suit name or your fandom name would be fine. And if you do send your real name, I'm not going to put it out on YouTube. My real name is not connected at all in any way to the fandom. I just go by SierraCanine. And of course I've got two suits right now, Alpine over in the corner and up behind me there, and Firefly, a German Shepherd. So, planned episodes. Let's see if this works. Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? There's the mouse. Click. Doo-doo-doo. Click. Click. Oh, it is on this page. Scroll. Dance videos. Go. Episodes. Alright. Our first episode is this one right here, Meet the Host, just a little bit about me. Our second one is going to be on commissioning a fursuit. And I've not commissioned anything myself yet, so I'll be going off what most other people say. But we're going to try to look at it from a creator's point of view. Since I make my own suits, basically get a little bit behind the scenes and what's involved. As you can probably see behind me, I have some foam. This I picked up recently. That is for a head base that I plan to be working on sometime in the near future. And I'm probably going to do a little contest with that just to create a character that you guys make for me. So a little bit more information on that at a future date. The third episode is going to be about learning your fursuit's character. How to bring your persona, your character that you portray to life. To just throw in that extra element that makes it a little bit more than just a person in an animal suit. To make it really come alive. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. After that, we've got fursuiting at cons versus in public. What to expect, some safety tips and places that you might want to consider going to fursuit, and other places that you might want to just leave the suit at home. So we'll talk about that. Next, we'll also talk about telling friends and family about fursuiting. This can also be a very tricky one. You can run into a lot of opposition, mainly because, as in any fandom, people who are not introduced to it always see the dark side of the fandom, regardless. So, that episode's going to focus on really showing them, more than telling them, what the furry fandom is all about. And we'll take some time to explain how you're going to tell people that, how you're going to work your way around that dark side of the fandom. So, after that, I think we're going to talk a little bit about fursuit care and maintenance. Nobody likes a smelly, sweaty fursuiter. Plus, hugging a wet rug isn't the best thing in the world, especially when it smells. So we're going to teach a little bit about how to properly care for your fursuit, keep it clean, keep it smelling nice, proper hygiene for yourself when you're at cons and suiting, how you should take care of yourself to take care of the suit. After that, we're going to talk about fursuit safety. We're going to talk about the medical side of things a little bit. What you need to do, what actually happens to your body when you're suiting. We're talking about heat exhaustion, heat stroke. Believe it or not, you can actually be hypothermic in suit if you're fursuiting in the cold. So we'll mention that briefly for those of you that might be up in the mountains or in the Great North. Believe me, I've been there. Used to live in South Dakota for a year. That was miserable. If you ever have to plug your car in, you know what I mean. Winter there is terrible. We're going to talk a little about that, a little bit about proper hydration and how you need to make sure you eat. That's a big thing that lots of fursuiters do. They just power through it, don't eat anything, and they crash and feel miserable for the next 48 hours. Don't do that. I've done it. It's not fun. Take my advice. Just skip that. After that, getting out. We're going to talk a little about being noticed for who you are. Not so much to become a celeb or pop but just to get known for who you are and what you like to do. So basically making friends and how to keep those friends without really burning down bridges. It's really easy to do. So, my camera still recording? Okay. And the big thing is just be who you are. Don't try to be something you're not. That can really turn a lot of people off. And honestly, when you do meet somebody in real life that you might have met like online or something and they're completely different, friendships can end real quick. So just be who you are and the friends will follow, okay? You don't have to worry about any of that. Sometimes it's best just to have one or two close friends and that's it. So once again, do not worry about becoming poppy fur or celeb fur. It doesn't matter. Nobody really wants to be that. Believe me, that's the last thing I would want. And next after that, navigating the fandom. This is basically just how to stay in the PG area of the fandom, how to weed your way around lots of the pokey subjects in the fandom, how to kind of, we all know they're out there, those people that they're in it for the wrong reasons or reasons that are best kept under wraps. So we'll talk a little bit about how you're going to navigate around that, mainly with art, but it can also be with just people you meet at conventions or out on the street even. And then after that, we're actually going to have an episode dedicated more to art, just art in general in regards to the fandom. And as an artist myself, it's kind of difficult when you're new to really find out what is and isn't furry art. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, what the differences are in furry and non-furry. We're going to talk a little bit about what different styles are. We're going to talk about what an anthro character is, if we don't get to that before then. How that's different from a feral character. So a lot of stuff to talk about. I also have listed here 5 episodes that are blank. And they're all listed as a special episode. And those are for you guys to send in suggestions, things that you want to know more about, things you want me to talk about, things that you might have questions on that don't really pertain to any one of the topics that I plan to go over. Okay. Sorry about that. Evidently my camera is set to stop recording after 20 minutes of continuous use, so whatever I talked about in the last, maybe 10 minutes, because I kept going on, we missed, so we'll go back over it and get back on track. So we finished up talking about those special episodes. That was it I had to say about episodes, so we jump in here at feedback. You can send me emails at fursuitnation@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Twitter. Not sure how Twitter works. I'm still trying to figure out social media and whatnot. We're on Twitter at Fursuit Nation. So check us out. I'll put the links down in the description for the video down below. So scroll down. You can click on those after we finish the video. And next is closing remarks. I don't have any closing remarks, but we do have some questions, so we'll use this time to answer those. And hopefully the camera will stay on for these questions. There's quite a few. The first one is, how long have you been a furry? I'm going to have to go with, let's see, probably 5 or 6 years, though I didn't really know what furry was until about a year ago. And that kind of leads into the second question, what got you interested in furry, and then what got you into the fandom? What got me interested in furry was, I think, just my general love of dogs. And what really started it off, I think, was a number of years ago. I would do a lot of role playing and lots of fantasy or science fiction based role plays, and they were dice based, mainly because my computers aren't that powerful. I can't really do much on them other than a little bit of art, edit videos, and even that's very limited. So I used to do that a lot, but the one thing that for some reason always carried over, and looking back on this I can see it now, I was always a canine-based character, either a dog or a werewolf type character. And it really never really sunk in until about a year ago when I watched an anime series called Wolf's Rain. It's a great anime. I highly recommend you go see it. But what got me into the fandom was not so much that, but the fact that I liked it so much that I started to write fan fiction, and my journeys with fan fiction there eventually led to me discovering the furry fandom and actually being able to identify with a fandom that pretty much fits exactly what I would look for in a fandom. Next question is, what do you hope to get out of it? You're only going to get out of the fandom what you put in. You can sit in a corner, not participate, and have a terrible time just because you didn't participate. You can jump in, have a blast, dance, have a party, meet people, make friends, and you're just going to have a ball. So the main thing I hope to get out of it is I just want to make people smile, make them feel good, and just seeing those smiles on other people's faces, that's all I ask. That's all I look for. When people are happy, I'm happy. So let's all be happy together, okay? What do you like about the fandom? What do I like? I like the fact that the fandom, and I know this has been said by many people before me, that the fandom is what you make it out to be. It's not a fandom where it's got a set of rules and you have to do this or be this, dress this way. The fandom is what you make it out to be yourself. So I think that is the main thing I like about the fandom, just that it's something that you create yourself. Other people have their own views on it, but together it can be collectively called the furry fandom. So that's what I like about it. Next question is, what do you dislike? I'm going to say what I dislike most about the fandom. Whoa. Stuff falling over. What I dislike most is probably the haters out there. The people that, even though they are in the fandom, it has to be their way, has to be like their set of rules. That if it's not the way they see the fandom, it's not the fandom. So basically, you need to be open to other people that this is not a black and white, this is the fandom, this is not. It's the fandom is what you make it out to be yourself. So one person's fandom might not be another person's fandom. and people need to realize that. And when people don't, it just causes a lot of anger, animosity, and honestly, people get hurt in the process. So keep your opinions to yourself, and everything should be fine. Next question. What is your favorite food? Huh. Favorite food. That's a tough one. Especially with people who like to eat. Let's see. There's chocolate. There's hot dogs. Bratwurst, which is like a hot dog, just bigger and better. There's pizza. Let's see. Is soda a food? If soda's a food, that's one of them. What else? Mac and cheese.
Okay, the rest of this is going to be finished just with narration due to the camera's batteries completely dying. They're charging now. Evidently, they were only about both 20% full, so I'll be finishing it this way. We have 2 questions left to go. The first one is, are you going to sell your suits or do commissions? Personally, I will not be selling my suits, though I do plan to hopefully someday in the future be doing commissions for other people, either making partials or actually just making parts of suits. People have shown interest, and I've received lots of positive feedback on my feet paws. Those are in the works right now. I still need to finish Firefly's feet paws. I need to find a way to get a hold of a material that will make feet paws that look like paws, but at the same time allow me to dance without completely destroying the material. I have been contacted by people wanting to do trades, and what I've had to tell them is, because I'm a full-time student, I don't have time right now, but I will not erase the messages, and if they're still interested when I'm done, that we might be able to work something out. Okay, and last question here is, how was your first con? Let's see. My first con was Further Confusion 2014 in San Jose, California, which is about 2.5 to 3 hours from where I'm at up here in Northern California. And overall, I'm going to have to say it was a blast. We showed up on Thursday afternoon for registration. And for me personally, it could have been better. I went to a restaurant that evening after deciding that registration line was going to take forever, so we left and went to go get a bite to eat before standing in line for another 2 hours. Let's see. The buffet was great, though shortly after I got food poisoning, and if you saw me during the con at all, I was pretty much wiped out. Nothing to do with the con, it was just me trying to recover from that. Didn't faze me that much other than just being a little bit lethargic and feeling sick most of the time. But the con was still great. I had nothing against it. Let's see. Friday, attended a ton of panels, met some people, spent a lot of time in the Fursuit Headless Lounge, mainly because I suited all day. That day, I think I showed up at 10 and we left around, 8 or 9 that day. And lots of things that we were doing. Lots of panels. I do not recommend for your first con that you suit all day unless you plan to spend a majority of your time in the Headless Lounge cooling off. It can get hot, especially in California. I was introduced to the idea of Masquerade on Friday, signed up, and headed down on Saturday, headed up, I guess it's upstairs, to the main stage, did a rehearsal and music, and then later that evening, actually was the opening act in the masquerade, which it's kind of nice going first. I mean, you get done and then you can relax and watch everybody else have all the butterflies. So I enjoyed that. After that, I had to head home. We left literally right after the masquerade was over. So wish I could have stayed longer. My goal next year is to attend, but this time to stay longer and also possibly attend the nighttime dances for at least an hour. I don't know how long I'll be able to last in those. I have danced in my garage at night, so when it's cold out, for a good hour, and it can get really hot and exhausting. So we'll see. I really wanted to attend BLFC, Biggest Little Fur Con, though with my school schedule it would have been very tight, and honestly, the way my schedule worked out, I don't think I would have been able to study properly for tests and whatnot for class. So that pretty much sums it up for questions. And if you have any more questions, feel free to email us at fursuitnation@gmail.com or message us on Twitter at fursuitnation. We look forward to hearing from you guys, and, well, hope you enjoyed the show.